makes you fall in love? By knowing what makes you fall in love, you can understand yourself and others better. This topic is a hobby of mine, and I've thoroughly enjoyed researching it extensively. Chemicals in a person's brain alter and cause the feelings of love. We're going to talk about the 6 types of love in our textbook, which are eros, ludus, mania, agape, pragma, and storge. I'm going to give you a brief description of the loves, what they're like, the chemicals they produce, and what those chemicals do. Eros, according to our textbook, is the love of beauty and sexuality. This is attraction and lust. The chemicals presiding over this type of love are primarily testosterone, estrogen, adrenaline, and dopamine. The testosterone, primarily in men, causes men to feel more aggressive and have a better self-image of themselves. The estrogen, primarily in women, helps their bodies to become prepared for intercourse. The adrenaline causes your heart to race and your breath to quicken and your mouth to go dry. Dopamine, according to reuniting.info, you can think of as the gotta have it neurochemical. Dopamine essentially is the pleasure center, controls the pleasure center of your brain, and it makes you enjoy things and have to get more of them. This normally occurs when you first meet somebody, and it can easily turn into mania, which according to our textbook means elation and depression. This happens normally in on-again, off-again relationships and short-term romances. The chemicals presiding over this type of love are primarily adrenaline, dopamine, and serotonin. According to YourAmazingBrain.org, adrenaline, when you have it in your system, you start to sweat, your heart races, your mouth goes dry. Dopamine, again, pleasure center of the brain, it helps you feel like this is great and you want more of it. The serotonin in this case actually decreases. Serotonin is the chemical that helps you maintain your mood. So without this chemical, it causes the elation and depression from mania. If you wanted to break this cycle or you wanted to take your relationship to the next level, you would go to a love called ludus, which is, according to our textbook, the love of entertainment and excitement. This happens during dating, whenever you're doing a lot of activities together. The chemicals that your brain produces during this type of love are oxytocin and dopamine. According to attachmentparenting.org, oxytocin, a bonding hormone, causes people to feel really connected and close to each other. It's also known as the cuddle chemical. Dopamine, again, pleasure center of your brain. So it helps you feel close to somebody and really enjoy feeling close to somebody. When you stay in a relationship longer, you'll find a new type of love. This type of love is storge, which means peacefulness and slowness, according to our textbook. This is the type of love that you have when you've been in a relationship longer, and the passions start to simmer down a little bit. The chemicals for this type of love are oxytocin and prolactin. Oxytocin, again, cuddle chemical, makes you feel really close and connected, and prolactin actually combats the dopamine that you had in your system on the other types of love. This helps you get out of bed in the morning and do things that don't necessarily cause you pleasure. If you and your partner decided to have children, then you would experience a new type of love called agape, according to our textbook, which means selflessness and compassion. The chemicals presiding over this type of love are oxytocin, vasopressin, prolactin, and ovoids. The oxytocin, again, cuddle chemical, makes you feel really close and connected to your children. The vasopressin, according to attachmentparenting.org, this occurs in the fathers, and the fathers become more dedicated mates and express behaviors of protection. The prolactin occurs in mothers and makes them feel really lethargic, so they stay in one place and take care of the baby rather than rushing off to work. The opioids also occur primarily in the mothers, and it changes small amounts of pain into pleasure. This way, when you're holding a child for 7 hours, your arms don't feel tired. There are other types of love besides romantic love. According to our textbook, one of these loves is called pragma, the love of work, task, and deed. The chemicals presiding over this type of love are dopamine and serotonin. The dopamine controls the pleasure center of your brain, and the serotonin helps you maintain that mood. This helps so you don't go to work for 3 days and then say, "Oh, that was fun, I'm done." You keep going. Well, that wraps up the chemicals for the 6 types of love that we are talking about today. To conclude, chemicals are responsible for telling us what to feel and how passionately we feel for them. When your brain alters the balance of chemicals, you feel a unique type of love. Now you know that falling in love isn't magic, it's chemicals. My name is Betty Baker, and this has been my informative speech.